There's smoking cessation services out there for everyone. It's a free, friendly advice. No one's going to give anyone a hard time about their smoking. What we will do is support, give you all the information and help that you need, and obviously find out if there's any other smokers in the house and whether they want help and support too. And we offer them a very individually tailored service, so what we do for one girl isn't necessarily what we do for the other.
They had a smoking cessation officer up at the hospital. She just gave me a phone call just to see how I was and where I lived and stuff, and made an appointment to come out.
They asked if I wanted to talk to someone about maybe quitting or just talk in general about smoking.
People do expect that we're going to give them a hard time, and we know from research that girls in pregnancy feel really guilty about what they do. I mean, they often say that people look at them in the street if they're having a cigarette and they feel really bad about doing it. But we want to allay their fears and let them know that there's help and support out there. As health professionals, midwives, I think we think that everybody knows the reasons. That people know a little bit, but they don't know the full story.
The thing that kind of gobsmacked me was half of the chemicals that were in cigarettes. She explained everything, you know, down to the last detail, what the cigarettes were made of and what they did to your insides, and she was really, really good.
So we always ask what they know already. And find out, and yeah, we do go over the risks and benefits to making changes to their smoking.
This one was the biggest out of all three, and it was proof that when I smoked with the other two, their weights were smaller.
One of the things I was worried about was stillbirth or cot death afterwards, because it's increased when you smoke.
They're much more likely to have a baby born prematurely, very early. A baby that might be quite sick and need, you know, like special care. They are much more likely to have hospital admissions themselves through to maybe excessive morning sickness, a bit of bleeding, and there is a risk obviously with smoking, with miscarriage, so obviously we want to reduce that risk. The earlier on in pregnancy we get the girls, the better the pregnancy outcome. The good news is that there's help and support out there and that nobody's there to judge them or make them feel bad about what they do. The idea is not to shock. The idea is to give them information, and it's all about informed choice. So if people don't have the information, they can't make the choice about what to do. But it's definitely not to make it seem horrendous or make them feel more guilty than they already do, because most pregnant girls tell us they don't want to be smokers. There's no one thing works for everybody. It's about giving the girls the different options that's worked for people before and letting them decide what would suit them or what would fit in with their lifestyle.
She gave me all the options, like if I wanted to quit, would I use patches or gum?
I started off with the 16-hour patches because of what I smoked was the recommended, you know, NRT to use.
People do worry about nicotine replacement therapy, and yeah, as a midwife giving a pregnant mum a drug, which it is, I mean, it is a stimulant, it does have an effect on mum and the baby, so we're always a bit more wary about doing it, you know, especially if someone's pregnant. But we know that it does help. So in the first instance, we would, you know, ask girls if it would be a possibility to do it without anything. And if they can't manage or they've tried before, then we do use nicotine replacement therapy along with behavioural support.
She spoke about the patches to me, but for me, I just didn't like the thought of constant nicotine going through my body.
The benefits are immediate, you know. As soon as you stop smoking, as soon as you have that last cigarette, the heart rate's settled back down, you know, a couple of days after stopping smoking, all the carbon monoxide, the poison that causes a lot of problems, especially in pregnancies, left their body. So, I mean, the benefits are immediate, and what people usually experience is, you know, being able to breathe fresh air for the first time, not feeling their chest as tight, and a lot of people don't realise how unwell they felt as a smoker till they actually stop.
I can last the pace now, and I've surprised myself because I did smoke for so many years.
Just walking, I can walk so much further and do so much more.
The benefits to the mum are immediate. They're always immediate to the baby as well.
If you're pregnant, having a little one inside you should be enough, you know, that you want to give them the best start.
It's as much as little help or support as they want. We definitely try to see them on a regular basis initially, and I would have to say the majority of clients I see are on a weekly basis.
I would get texts from her or phone calls, you know, to see how things were going.
Just having that extra help and somebody talking to you and reassuring you.
Girls have told us that just having the offer of help and knowing that they can contact someone is a great motivational factor. So there's no hard and fast rules, but we offer them support whenever they want it. but we also support them in the postnatal period after the baby as well.
She actually gets quite involved with you, you know, in your own life, and getting to know a wee bit about her as well.
I don't know where I get the willpower to stop. I mean, I still sit and say just now, I can't believe that I did stop smoking. I didn't think it was such a big thing until you realise once you have stopped that it is a big thing.
I don't think I would have did it without her. You know, our support has been endless.
So remember, smoking affects your baby's development as well as your own health during pregnancy. The carbon monoxide in cigarettes reduces the amount of oxygen getting to your baby, and using nicotine replacement therapy is safer than smoking during pregnancy. You've got nothing to lose and everything to gain, and why not give us a call?